Hello, my name is Chloe and welcome back to another piercing video. In this video, I'm going to be talking about some of the myths and misconceptions about tongue piercings. I was 23 when I got my first tongue piercing, and one of the things that I was worried about was losing the ability to do the tricks I can do with my tongue. So I went online and I looked it up. This was a very bad idea, because one of the first things I found was information saying that getting your tongue pierced can paralyze you. I'm already a quadriplegic. I don't really want to be paralyzed even more. So I was terrified. But I soon learned that this was completely untrue. There are no piercings that can paralyze you. So I got my tongue pierced and I was fine. It didn't pinch a nerve, my tongue didn't fall off, I could still do everything I could do with my tongue. It just made certain things a little bit harder because I had a bar straight through my tongue. When I was looking for information about side effects to a tongue piercing, I heard that you can get a permanent lisp after getting your tongue pierced. This is not true. While your tongue is healing, you might have a little bit of a lisp, you might be talking funny, and it's a little bit difficult to talk because you're still getting used to this foreign object inside your tongue, and certain words can be hard to say and it can be painful to talk. But after it's healed, you will not have a permanent lisp. But I have been told that I have a certain amount of a lisp, but I guess that's just because I talk slightly different now that I have a bar through my tongue than before I had anything there. When I got my second tongue piercing, I was talking funny for about 3 weeks because it was pierced on the side and the side of my tongue was so much thicker. So it took a lot longer for it to heal than the week and a half it took for my first tongue piercing to heal. There were certain words that I couldn't say. I couldn't say any words that had an R sound in it. I have no idea why though. But after it fully healed, it was fine. I had no trouble talking. I had no trouble eating. And that gets me into eating. After getting your tongue pierced, it is hard to eat, but that's only for about a week. I've been asked if it's hard to eat with my tongue piercing or if I get food caught in it, and the answer is no. If I have a chewing gum that's exceptionally sticky, sometimes it can get caught in the bar, but standard chewing gum does not get caught in my tongue bar. And it might be very painful or very difficult to eat while your tongue piercing is healing. But with me, I healed very quickly, and the next day after getting my tongue pierced, I was eating a hot meat pie and I was fine. It was a little bit difficult because I was still getting used to having my tongue pierced and having the bar in there. And my tongue was pretty swollen and the bar that was in my tongue was really long, because when you get your tongue pierced, your tongue will swell. So they will put an exceptionally large bar in there, which is usually twice the size of your tongue, because that can be how much your tongue will swell. And that gets me into another misconception, is that your tongue will not swell. There is absolutely no doubt that your tongue will swell. It might swell a little bit and it might swell a lot, but please don't panic if you can't talk or you can't eat properly. It's completely normal. While it's healing, it's gonna be swollen, but after about a week or 2 weeks, it's gonna go down and it's gonna be fine after that, and the bar can be changed to a shorter bar. Before I got my tongue pierced, I was worried about it hurting, because in my mind, I thought it was going to hurt a lot, but it didn't hurt anywhere near as much as I thought it was going to be. I would say the pain was probably about a 2 out of 10, but if you're tensing or if you pull away when you're getting your tongue pierced, it's going to hurt a lot. And my second tongue piercing hurt so much more than the first because it was pierced on the side where the tongue is so much thicker. So I would say that the pain for the second tongue piercing was about an 8 out of 10. But the most painful part of getting a tongue piercing is the healing process. It takes 1 to 2 weeks for your tongue to heal and for the swelling to go down, and with my second tongue piercing it took a lot longer. So in the week to 2 weeks that it's healing, it's going to be hard to talk or eat, and it's going to be painful. So without a doubt, the healing process is a billion times worse than getting your tongue pierced to begin with. But I can't compare the pain of a tongue piercing to any other piercing, because getting your tongue pierced feels nothing like any other piercing. And the last, but the most common misconception that I get about my tongue piercing is that I only got my tongue pierced so that I could give oral, or that I would be good at giving oral. Very big myth. If you get your tongue pierced just so you can go down on someone, that's fine. No judgment here. But for me, I get my piercings for myself. I get it for nobody else. I don't get it to please anybody. I don't get piercings to make anybody else happy. They're only for me. If you have your own myths or misconceptions that you would like to share, please write it in the comments. And if you like this video, please be sure to give it a big thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed already, please do. Thank you so much for watching. I love you all, and I'll see you next week.